Do I seriously? Ugh. I'm sorry. I just dug like a bug out of my coffee. It was a bug in my coffee. Yeah, I can't eat it now. It's so gross. Ew. There was an actual, like, full moth in my coffee. Monday. Mercury retrograde. Ugh. And that's just the world that we're living in. You know what I mean? So I'm just going to have to get a new one. That's okay. I'm only popping in for a second because I wanted to share with you guys. I had posted I had posted earlier today a really cool special that I'm going to be running for all of October on my divination specials, but it's kind of a strange thing and there's not a whole lot that I can share about it online that is going to help people understand it. So I thought maybe I would take a few moments to give you guys a brief introduction, and for anybody joining me on social media and following me and signed up for notifications to be able to, here as we finish out September, have some free readings and give this some practice for me, because I'll be honest, this was sent to me by the New Moon Cottage. It is by Judas Knight, Jerome Van Dyke, Jacob Van Dyke, and Jordan Van Dyke. So Jerome, Jacob, and Jordan, and Judas, that's kind of a fun mouthful. And we are talking about the Tabula Mortem. This is the new modern spirit board. It comes in a really neat box. I'm going to show you. You can order it online. And this is a spirit board. It's kind of utilizing alchemy signs, different elemental energies, and communicating through a system of ancient symbolic cave runes. It comes with a planchette that you can dangle by a chain that it also comes with, which is kind of cool. And this is you can dangle it and use it as a pendulum, or, and listen, this is like really cool, heavy duty, really neat Oculus with the cool rounded ends that you can use on the board without worrying too much about doing damage. And for those people that love art like my friend April Slaughter does, the skull in there, you can kind of see it. It's got just some really neat art all over the box, all over the things. Now, I do have the planchette. I do have the guidebook to help me with some of the cave runes, even though for the most of it, we're pretty familiar with, and they're pretty self-explanatory. Pepper, what do the lines mean on your nails? Okay, so whether or not we're talking about tattoos on the fingers or hands, I'm always getting nail art. This is to protect my love interest, because Venus is in Scorpio. Your romance finger going to the femoral artery, or not the femoral artery, but our aortic artery right here, right? Like right here. And our symbol for love and protecting the heart right now. So I have the two lines for like the double protection, the double band. Hello, Dolly. Hello, Steph. So welcome, guys. So I have a few different pieces. It's kind of like when you're playing Clue or Monopoly. These readings that I'll be doing throughout October, they include a handful of homemade rune pieces. Now, I have a bunch of rune pieces, rune sets. I make custom sets for people all the time. But this board specifically has, and I'm going to show it to you here, it folds up. It can be broken down to go into its box. Very neat. And when it unfolds, it looks like this. So I have it laying here next to me on my table. And the sigil there in the middle is depending on, you know, parlez français avec moi, le Baron samedi sur la table. And this is a leveve for him, Southern voodoo Cajun magic of Baron Samedi, the crossroads Leo for that specific realm. And I just love him. He's a very favorite guide of mine personally. And so knowing that he is inscripted on this board with the skulls and just it's beautiful. So I really, really like it. Now, talk about the runes. You guys, you can't really go right or wrong with runes whenever you are making a set. Of course, gypsy magic, Sinti, Romani, indigenous magic is always the closer you are to wielding your own, the better and more pure your magic. So this and these are all pieces that I've collected myself and make myself, and I feel like that does give it its energy, right? So we have a little piece of driftwood. It's a Valhalla ladder. It's in reference to that. So that energy comes with it. I have a little Cadbury stone. I'm not sure what it's made out of. It's like bone, almost like a marrow stone, but it's calcified and it's really super cool. And I love it. It's like my eclectic Taurus. I have a portal stone or an agate, just a geode, crystal geode agate. I always think of putting that in my third eye. And so, hey, Anthony. And so I'm thinking this is a past life stone, giving me some advice there. I have a piece of a femur from a cow, very much about usually we're writing on the runes or we're burning on the runes or whittling on them to inscribe some sign or sigil or mark, but these are left bare. So this is a completely neutral stone. Throw that out there. I've got a wishing stone, and this is a rock, just a little piece of like a granite with a quartz ring going all the way around, kind of like the Ouroboros or the ring, the infinity symbol to remind us of the Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end, the constant cycle of life. Penny, that represents finance and money. I have another wishing stone, only this one's different. It's like a rose quartz with a oxidized ring around it all the way through. It's like an iron ore ring. It's beautiful. I love wishing stones. And anything with a red color, it's going to go, hello, Callie, it's going to go towards, relationships and love and Venus and passion. I have a coffin nail, always really important in Appalachia type magic, folk magic, and this, whether or not we're talking about alchemy and iron and how that works with trolls and elemental magic of earth and binding and protection and earthing and grounding, or just making a closed circuit and electrifying the vibe, grounding the vibe, getting our ions clear. The coffin nail, very indicative of a mile marker in the crossroads. And then the last rune that I have is a golden collarbone of a chicken. It's a little wing, like little bone here. And this is dipped in a gold paint, very much like a spiritual, cleansing, pure. We kind of use that again in voodoo, that chicken blood, cleansing of the ritual, cleansing of the space, very powerful spirit guide energy. So I've got all of these pieces, and I want you guys, if any of you would like a free reading, let me know what you'd like a reading for, and I will grab a rune for that topic, and then I'm going to toss it on the board here. Hopefully they stay on the board, and that's my goal, of course, since I'm not on the floor where usually you're at in an altar space where they can't go anywhere. If I have it on my altar over there, it's kind of nestled in. When I'm doing these readings, the full reading with all the runes, then absolutely you're not going to have to worry about it flying off the table. But tonight, as we just kind of pull one of these, let's see what we get. So Jamie says, one for my life. Let's do the golden chicken bone, my life. Toss it over, don't even look. And it lies on the number 8 and the zigzag. Man, that zigzag is going to be, again, something I think I know what it is, but I'm not 100% sure. I'm always thinking of Thor and Thor's spark. The number 8 is going to be August. It's going to be Virgo energy. It's pointing to the S and the R. Could be Sarah, could be an R, but an S and R is going to be a name or a proper noun. The lightning bolt, yep, Thor or Flash, representing destructive forces of nature, but impulsive strikes of passion. The fire gods, ancient people coming from an unknown place in the sky, appearing in an instant, disappearing just as quickly in a flash. Unspeakable damage before you know it. A thing can be respected and feared, Yet it can light up the darkness and comes with a life-giving rain, a welcoming thing even when much of the world's water is frozen or things are on fire. The zigzag shape of a lightning strike shows the unpredictable nature to zig and to zag. If spirit is showing you this symbol, it is telling you that something unpredictable is about to happen or is happening, and warning you that you might be playing with dangerous fire and impulse. Could be telling you that something is going to happen quickly, and it could be that this message is from a much higher power. I would absolutely agree. And I love Thor. Loki is afoot these days. That trickery, that trickster joker energy is absolutely in the ether right now. So be careful if you guys are playing with that kind of fire. Anything in the end of August, especially in that full moon that you were manifesting, it's going to be coming full circle. And any proper nouns with S and R, Jamie, is going to be indicative of a good spiritual guidance for you and a source of where that's coming from. Pepper, will I be moving in the next 3 years, please? That would be the nail. It fell on the in, and it fell in the goodbye space on the board, and it fell on the rod. You know, the rod is another symbol that came through in here, which I think is interesting. It's the Occam's razor, the first tool used by humans, and a reminder of the spear and of friction. To be patient, but that eventually if you do something, rubbing it together long enough, it'll get hot, it will make fire. That you can make magic out of potential energy if you're just patient. And this lines up to the number 6. That's going to be June. And June, I also think of the solstice. I think of the number 21. The next big solstice is going to be December 21st. So if we're in October, November, December, yes, that's going to be by December 21st. And goodbye, I would say, yep, that's a pack up your things and be moving. And the rod, the Occam's razor, something made of wood. This is the hidden magic within, the raw materials of resource, and possibly even lending ourselves to the original magic wand to cast, to point, to know your direction. So I think that that would be a good yes. I hope that that's helpful. Chet, could I have a reading from my kids? Ooh, kids. Let's do the red stone, passion stone. Ooh, okay. This fell over the P, the letter P, and then the squiggly line, which is indicative of the serpent winding his way across the earth and the land. Hard to imagine the snake in an ice age, but there is evidence shown certain snakes did manage to stay alive in even such harsh environments. To the point, the snake is a survivor, Chet. It has no legs, yet manages to climb. It can hibernate all winter and return to life in the spring. It can shed its skin and heal itself and regenerate. When it moves, it throws its body back and forth, teaching humans to move forward. We must constantly change and adjust. If spirit is pointing you to this symbol, it is probably speaking of great transformation, information coming, medical advice, health, growth, renewal, and telling you, like the snake, you must make the most of what you have. It is speaking like change and telling you that you have to take many twists and turns in your path ahead. But just like talking about a snake, listen carefully. Listen. The snake doesn't always make a lot of sound as it moves. I love that. Very, very powerful. And I think, you know, the snake, it's feminine energy. It's that kind of Lilith if we're Christian. It's information that is that shadow information, stuff that we have to contemplate and feel that sometimes we do avoid and deny, but it's very good to be using in transformation and catalyst. So I think that that will be very helpful. Monica, sounds like you are moving. Yes, Pepper, and you are very welcome. Steph, I would want to know about a messy argument and if it will be resolved with someone I have a soul connection with. Steph, soul connection. I'm going to use the redstone again. Oh, it fell off. It fell off. Hold on. That's okay. That's okay. Do it again. Do it again. Okay. Where are we? It fell on the E and the D. The E and the D. Proper nouns and names for E and D. And then it fell on the number 3. That's kind of a trifecta, the tree, the triangle, the third wheel, the collaboration, cooperation. I don't always know how I feel about that. And a love triangle. It's maybe suggestive of an imbalance. But then also it fell on the black stars. Now these, what I'm learning, there are white stars and black stars. Now the black stars on this board are the yin stars, or the magical stars. So it says stars have always seemed magical. They shine in the night, they change with the year, yet they're always out of reach. And to ancient people, it seemed the stars represented the will of the gods written out in the night sky like a narrative of our destiny. They foretold the changing of the seasons ahead, the events yet to come. I believe this represents small and even insignificant stars, the black stars, the harder to be seen ones, and it is a guidance of common, practical, objective kinds. The planchette or runes, if moved to this symbol, mean it's speaking of a common sense. You need to be practical. You need to be quiet. It may be giving you advice from your best, but you may not like it. It'll be telling you that something is not as great as you've imagined, and that you're just now perhaps setting your sights too low. Yee! This is a expectation. This is you're not going to necessarily like what you hear, and this is going to be a reflective space, an introspective space to take something inward and learn from it and recycle it. Right now, the airspace is very much about that. Oh God, this was the moth coffee. I just drank it. Take a deep breath, Sarah. It's fine. You've eaten chocolate-covered bugs. It's fine. Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. It's fine. It's not a big deal. It's fine. It's not a big deal. It's fine. Next. It's fine. It's not a big deal. It's fine. Ha ha. Okay. Anybody else? Sorry, Steph. And she goes, I know. So there you go. That's validation. You know, I'm not just going to blow smoke up your ass. Ugh. I need to go get a fresh thing of coffee. I can feel it in my bones. You guys, you get a sense of how this works, right? This spirit board, which I love, Baron Samdi he's very bold. He's very honest. Rebecca says, man, I'd love to just get a general. Protein Sarah. Dolly says, I'd love to know if I'll be traveling. So Dolly, will you be traveling? Rebecca, for general. The bone. I just toss it. So travel, man, that fell on the fire all the way to the antler, all the way across the 1, and to the letter C and to the letter Y. C, B, and Y, and the fire sign. So this is action, this is movement, this is doing things, this is getting onward with it. It's an antler, which is masculine growth, shedding the horns, catalyst of growing. Yes, you're going to be traveling by January, if not back from January. January, the number 1, the new year, very exciting. That's a good thing. Yes, yes, yes. Rebecca, general. It landed on hello. It landed on the W, and it landed on the breasticles. There is a sign on this board. It looks like a W, but it's not quite. And so I was like, what is that? It looks like the Encino Man when he's drawing the breasts on the whiteboard at the skating rink. And so this is kind of in a space of the feminine nourishing and nurturing outside of the body. So you birth the baby, you have the thing, and now it's out. Now it's not protected by your womb. It's possible out there into life being, crappy, and you can't protect it from everything. This means that life actually is going to be there, happening to you, molding you as a person now. And the letters are proper pronouns. So who, what, when, where, why, like New York, Nancy. It's going to be the main names of the people or places in your life. If you're relevant, and again, this is why it's important to have the question well framed in your mind before you get your answers, so that there's not skepticism in your mind of, I don't know, I mean, I guess it could be like Noah, but I mean, it could be like, I don't know, like, don't do that to yourself. Go ahead and know exactly what you want the answer to be and what question you're asking. The breasticles is about, suckling. This is milk. This is in reference to diet. You are what you eat. This is making sure you have motherly love, feminine guidance, goddess energy, sensuality, respecting your body, your vessel, knowing that you're getting what you need, and self-care and love, and being in tune with the guide of your purpose and what it is that you're nourishing in your life. There you are. Steph says, oh, okay. Field guy says, very interesting. Steph, what do the letters mean? Proper nouns, again, names or places. M, it's going to be Missouri, or Michael for me. And I kind of establish what those are way before ever doing a reading. So if you're someone who's joining me in the mentor space and the Gypsy Tribe or on Paranormal Sarah, and we talk about on occasionally these spaces, it's so important to know your intuitive, meditative mind, your cognitive dictionary. Like what is a black cat? What does that mean to you, and why? Do you know it? Do you know where it stems from? The sources. Do you have a works cited page in your brain? Very, very, very important. And Dolly says, yes, I've been grounded for too many years. Best news of the decade. Thank you so much. You're welcome, Dolly. And I'm excited to see where you go, because it said C, B, A, Z, and Y. That could be crazy or crazy. Everything crazy without the R and add a B. And then the 4 lines, it crossed over the 4 lines. And I'll be honest, I've not seen what that means yet. I just opened this today. What do the 4 lines mean? The 4 lines. Oh, that's 4 lines like a Roman numeral. I want just a 4 lines, not a Roman numeral. There it is. Oh, it means a scratch. Like a cat scratch or a scratch on your back. Claw marks, like that of an animal. It's an implication that someone is surviving, and it could be a scar indicating something that's happened and wanting to grow, knowing you'll never be the same, and that it could be an indication of a primitive tattoo or primitive desire. Throughout their life, primitive people will have collected many scars from the hazards of their daily life, like Chuck Palahniuk says, who wants to die without any scars? This is helping you tell a story to shape who you are as a person, to show how you are different from others. A scar is a powerful symbol. Pointing to the symbol, it is referring to your past, telling you that something is happening that's left a mark on you forever. But it's speaking of an old pain that will now affect your future for new places, of simple levels, taking and talking about tattoos and birthmarks and who you are in your journey. Ooh, yeah. I like that, Dolly. I think that's fantastic. I have a lot of scars and scratches myself. Stretch marks from growing babies. I've got marks from surgeries, and where I busted my chin as a girl skating. All sorts of things that, I've not really fixed or erased because they're a part of my story. And I think that that's beautiful. So very cool. Field guy says, is there a health one? And if so, can it say something about if I'm going to have a good health to come? Well, let's see. Let's see. There's my friend April. Hey, April. She's famous, y'all. She's on, man, if you guys are interested in the Skinwalker, some of those episodes, some of those stories, some of those articles, man, some beautiful, amazing books and art, skull art. April, I'm doing this. I was talking about you when this opened. Look at this Tabula Rosa, this planchette. You see the skull and the rose drawn in it? I just love it. And it's a really durable spirit board. So if you guys want a reading, you let me know. You've got stuff coming your way. So field guy, health. For health, I want to just do the spirit. And then for April, let's do this one. Here we go. Field guy, it is falling on the T and on the arrow. The T, I want you to think of what T is. T for health. Health, T. I think this is absolutely, when we say like T, this is telling. The crook, the shepherd's crook, a rune for the herding of animals. In the simplest form, this is like a cane. This is the physical work helping accelerating your process. If you have ever had a bad back or needed a stick to help you walk, this is the 3-legged beast sphinx spoke in a riddle. It's connected to age and wisdom, the weight of a burden of a hard life. It's the echo of time that we begin to hear as we get older, to delegate our stress. If spirit is pointing you to this symbol, it is speaking of time, to be referring to how you age, to be gratitude of your age and time, and that it is expressing wisdom and talking about your life experience for the better. So, this is going to be one of those silver linings of health. I would say this is a good sign for health, wisdom, and lessons. I really love that. I think it's beautiful. So, thank you for sharing that. I think that's a good way to look at that. And it points to the T, kind of arching over to the S as well a little bit. So, the T and the S and your life field guy, where that shows. April, where is this falling for you? Ooh, okay. So, this is pointing to the L and the K over the number 6. And it's a nail or coffin to that grounding, protection, and earth energy, investments and thoughts. This is very powerful, and it's laying over, so the proper nouns L and K, so names and places for the L and K, but then the spiral. And you know that spiral, I'm usually thinking of ancient witches and their Welsh mazes up on the Pan's Labyrinth. I get a hint of The Shining and hedges in the night, but the spiral is the Fibonacci. It's the golden rule. As you know, the beauty and symmetry, and that it is everywhere and in everything. And this is presented in the spiral, and it talks about putting ourselves in the minds of people living in the wild and how they would have identified this shape in the natural world. This is the ripple on water. It's indicative of a great disturbance. It is an echo in the canyon, a repeating action that everything around us will feel. It shows how all life is connected, how everything we do affects everyone else. It seems to be hinting at a great cosmic energy pervading all life. It is the secret center that motivates you, April. If a spirit is showing you the symbol, it is speaking about life itself. It's talking about how something you are doing is affecting other things, and speaking of the life force and even water, emotion, intuition, relationships, connection, life force, chi. It's telling you that something is upsetting your peace. It has disturbed your water, and that you harness the control of that placid space, that you are alive. You are alive. Just like grief is evidence of love, this ripple or echo is evidence of a disturbance in your force. But your force, nonetheless, is there and will return back to homeostasis. This is just a momentary temperance of your spirit. So I am excited for that, and I'm excited that you're seeing the Fibonacci and the great artistic swirl and everything. I think that that's really beautiful. And I know that you are an artist, so I'm excited to maybe see if you are creating, because I know deep sadness and deep catalyst and deep change and even closeness, as Baron shows me, to death. It brings such good art, such good creative healing energy. So that's exciting. And for that, I am excited for you. So you guys, this Tabula Mortem by the New Moon Cottage online is fantastic. So if you guys would like a full reading, let me know. I'm going to be offering them on my website starting October 1st. And if you are signed up for my newsletter or anything online, you'll get the coupon code to get a huge chunk off of those readings. And if you want to share them with friends or family, you can do that too. And then that way they can get a reading special for Halloween. And it's really cool. I love runes. I don't think that you have to use just bones or just stones. And I have some amazing rune sets if you guys want a particular custom set made just for you. I have Weird Gears, amazing altar items, and she's got some new pieces she's working on, and that is my favorite set that I've not made myself. So if you're interested in some of that, we can get you hooked up in that space too. Doug says, man, I should be asleep. Is my theory on one of my past lives accurate? Ooh, is your theory on your past life accurate? Past life stone, indigenous third eye portal. Hello. Where did it fall? Ooh, it fell on the open stars, and it fell on C, and it fell on the number 2. I think of February. I think of uh, an androgynous energy that's very powerful, that is that kind of theatrical thespian, going to be sacrificed possibly in the wrong body in the wrong time. And when I think of past lives and trying to bring that into a story, I'm talking in a monotone because the large stars, ancient people would have noticed these stars, larger, were planets, the moon, the sun, Mercury, Venus, Jupiter, Saturn, wanderers of the sky to be watched, personified as deities. The idea of movement and constant change, but also destiny and cosmic forces. If spirit is pointing you to this symbol, then it is referring to movement and change within your life cycle and talking about stars themselves and great constellations of lives, telling you the stars are aligning for something to happen. Even you could be referring to the sky itself right now. This is a really powerful space, and I think of it as like a planetary thing. I would definitely say it is a Pluto and Capricorn energy, and it, intuitively I'm thinking of Narnia, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, that particular hillside where they are taken to, where they are going from in that storybook. That's where I start going. So yes. John, hello from the Nottinghamshire Paranormal Society in the UK. Hello, John. Welcome, and I love your profile picture. My in-laws live in South England, and I have so many friends and family in and out of the UK area, so it's exciting to see you joining us. Is my business going to continue to rise like it has? My business. Is my business? Doug, is your business going to continue to rise like it has all this month? Money. Money. I need money. Fell on the F. And it said no. So whereas I would love to be the bringer of like, yes, you're going to be independently wealthy, it fell kind of near the no. It fell on the F, and it fell near the symbol of what looks like a hook or a J. And at first I was like, what is this? Is this a J or a hook? And turns out it's actually a hook. And the hook is, I think of Moana. I think of really the amazing story of like watery civilizations and how they are referring to the hook, and that the ether or the under realms, anything under the earth, is water or space, and that this is a completely different dimension like hell, or a different purgatory, like the Egyptians beneath ground and the water is the underrealm. And so I do get a sense of Anubis and the crocodile and the Leviathan and some really cool underwater creatures. The hook is a way to catch fish or to expose something as you pull it up from the depths. So it says if spirit is pointing you to the symbol, it is saying that something is hidden and needs to be uncovered. Speaking of a trap or catching something, and it is telling you not to get baited in. So this is more of an awareness of maybe how to invest and further invest that money to help it grow, because as of maybe right now, unless we're doing something to bait that hook or be aware of the waiting game, that we are able to pull something from the depths and have had a successful catch. But again, you guys, what's really exciting is you are the best interpreter of your future as long as you can get out of your own way. If you are able to look at the signs, which is why I love divination, if you make the board, you're connected to the signs, you're connected to the sigil, you're connected to the whatever you've drawn in chalk or scribbled on construction paper, and whatever pieces of things you're using to get the messages. The most important is formulating the question like you would in prayer and then going to the answer. I'd like a message of what's to come next for be the end of the year in regards to love and money, says the silver rabbit. Love and money. There's that. Well, my son loses virginity. I can't get a question out of him. Dolly. Lose virginity. Which one should that be? Wishing stone. Okay. The end of year love and money. This is the number 7. That's a lucky number 7. So that's probability. That's you need to take control of it and make a decision. The letter O, a vowel O, that's going to be pretty specific of a name or a place that starts with an O. And then it's a hand, which I think of Fern Gully. But that hand, is it the only hand? No, there's 2 hands. A negative hand. Oh, okay. So there's a positive and negative, and this is a negative. So this is an interesting because it says humans can be seen as a positive symbol or negative. The body parts we possess as the hand is the most distinctive. And this way, it's the identification of humans as an animal track can be used to identify them. So why is this shown as a reverse symbol or negative connotation? Well, it's the uniqueness of every person and their individuality. It is that yin energy of the personality and their own inner reflection or shadow self. This points, if by symbol, by spirit, to the probably talking of special gifts you have, speaking of non-conformity and not fitting in. It's telling you something about you might be not human, or even speaking of the animals, or telling you it is a witch or medicine person in or around your life and environment. That's interesting. It's talking about a lot of magic and supernatural phenomenon and things kind of being unpredictable, which would speak a lot to the end of 2021, and to continue to stay on the ride. And it's pointing to the number S, letter S. Hey, that's me. And then, so the O and the S. And then the virginity, man, that's the lightning strike. And it's also right near the S. And it's over the 8. So it's kind of right next to it. But that lightning bolt, the virginity, that's an impulse. That's a fire decision. That's probably, if he hasn't, he is going to. If he hasn't yet, he's going to. This is very indicative of like, wow, just a shock, just pow. And again, the letter S. So S and 8, however that is going to play in there, Dolly. Yeah, Sarah, I don't have a specific question, but can you surprise me with whatever you're drawn to, says Samantha. Yes. Samantha, for you, I would draw the stick, the Valhalla stick, travel, but also spiritual passage, the chariot. Oh. The positive hand. The positive hand and the letter N. N as in Nancy. A handprint, the right hand, to give. Extremely important body part. We use the giving dominant hand for everything. Like the 5 appendages, the heads, the legs, the arms. But the hand is our 5 fingers. In this way, the hand is seen as a map. It's giving you your ancestry. This is the first form of the pentagram. This is humans' tracks. It says, I was here. I am here. Look at your reflection and know that not only was I, but will be. If Spirit is showing you this symbol, it's talking about you as a human, you as a life force. It's telling you everything and anything could maybe once be human, right? Referring to the physical body, the hand is used for action and also for offering a hand of help. It's talking about palmistry, counting, numerology, numbers, signs, synchronicities, and how we give our essence to the universe. Sounds like some major spirit stuff in your realm giving you a helping hand, and the family tree and spirit reaching out, the number 6 in that space as well, Samantha. So, all right, you guys, I am going to hop off here. I know it is just a Monday night. And there is so much more that I have to learn about this Tabula Mortem modern spirit board that was sent to me by the New Moon Cottage. And you guys, if you want to go buy one, there's a few limited offers left. You just check them out online. And if you want a reading from this, just let me know. Reach out and give me a holla on paranormalsarah.com, or send me a message here wherever you're watching me. Either on YouTube is not the best, I'll be honest. Facebook is probably a little bit better. But you can also reach me at theparanormalsarah@gmail.com. And Dolly says, when is my husband going to reach out from the great beyond? The number 7. So that would be good luck, probability, make it happen. But it's also mostly falling on the middle of the board, which is the Baron Samedi. Baron is the counterpart to Brigitte, or Madame Brigitte. And there's some kind of fun tango and dancing there, in the synchronicity of speaking out and invoking. If you are speaking out, if you're asking, you will receive. So don't be afraid to ask and to delegate and to communicate as best you can. Don't put so much right or wrong. Just simply put accurate, relevant, helpful. And you guys, if you have any questions about divination, you want to learn yourself, or you're looking for a mentor, let me know. We've got all sorts of amazing people in the Gypsy tribe, people that will reach out and help you grow in your intuitive space. And I want to thank you so much for joining me tonight. If you were watching or you got a quick reading from me, just a thank you, a testimonial, or a share of this will help me a ton. I know a lot of people sometimes get nervous about divination. They're not sure how to use something like a tabula mortem. They think maybe it's just for pendulums or planchette use only, but divination is to connect with spirit. And there's no wrong way to do that. So you can do that however you like. And this is just one of many ways to use this board. And I'm really thankful that they sent this to me, because I'm going to be using it in all sorts of other ways for paranormal connection, spirit communication, and divine guidance. And if you'd like to join me on that, just make sure you're signed up for the notifications, you guys. And until next time, I hope you have a great Monday. Don't forget, tomorrow night here on the Paranormal channel, as well as Paranormal Sarah, we are going to be doing our 9 p.m. astrology and alchemy. So if you are wanting to know how to get through the next week, 7 days of energy in the stars, you want to know more about alchemy and chemistry and the science of spirituality, join us tomorrow. Matthew and I will be breaking it down, and I hope to see you then. All right, guys. Bye-bye.